Hi everybody, this is Scott Dudley from Funnel Fella Radio, and today my special guest is Dani Tomas, who's based in Spain. He's a consultant and creator of funnels and automated businesses and has his own digital marketing agency at danitomas.com. Welcome to the show, Dani. You ready to rock and roll?
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, Scott. I am ready.
You're welcome. Look forward to it. All right, so let's get going. We can start off with your background and how you first got into marketing and funnels.
Of course, yeah. My background, well, basically I was over 15 years working in hospitality. Something that became really natural to me was to provide services to the people and serve. And then after that, after about 15 years, I decided to start my entrepreneurial journey. And I started projects in the tourism market, in cosmetics. I was running partnerships in MotoGP. I had my own franchise consultancy and a lot more things that made me end up in the situation that some of the projects didn't work. So I thought, okay, what is happening here? And I discovered that some of the common mistakes were I was not doing my marketing properly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So if we sort of go fast forward to these days to now, tell me a bit about your digital marketing agency, what services you provide, and maybe also a little bit about what types of funnels that you build as well.
Yeah, of course. Well, in the marketing agency, what the type of funnels that we do is, well, the type of services is we do funnel building, we do all the strategy, and we also set up all the email marketing automation. So we like to think through from the beginning. So all the strategy, and we try to find the right system for your business. So some or most of the projects that we are doing are membership sites.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So
Yeah.
it's mainly like course creators, is it?
Mainly course creators. Now we are starting a project that is a SaaS. So at the end of the day, we are doing something very similar to ClickFunnels. So we have the SaaS built, but in order to have more customers in, we need to educate the customers. So we are preparing these courses for them to learn how to deal with their clients, and at the end of the day they are going to need a system, and this system is, well, the SaaS is the system they need.
So what about on the front end though? Is it like lead generation funnels, like opt-in funnels, or where are you sending the traffic to initially for these customers?
Yeah, initially we are sending them to a lead gen funnel. We offer them a part of the course free.
I see. Yeah.
Exactly. So
like a freemium.
Like a freemium, exactly. Like a free trial, free class, or free module, in order for them to get the hint of what are they going to find. So we can build trust and they can know us. And then if they like us, they are going to move ahead in the value ladder.
So I suppose you'd have a lot of follow-up sequence to try to upsell them to purchase the full course, of course.
Yeah, exactly. We have these follow-up sequences, and we are following the vehicle internal and external beliefs. We are trying to give them examples and break the old beliefs that they had and build new ones that they are going to move them in our vehicle.
All right. Any webinar funnels with that?
Yeah, we have a mini webinar because at the end, if they have, if they know us, they are gonna be willing to spend time with us. So we don't have a long webinar. It's under an hour, under 60 minutes, and we are leading them to this call that they are gonna be making in order to purchase the final product.
Is that like a mini perfect webinar, like Russell Brunson's perfect webinar, or is that a different format?
Yes.
It
Yeah,
is, yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's the mini perfect webinar, but
Yeah.
it is mixed a little bit with, you know, Joel Airway, that he
I've
does
heard of him.
the mini webinar sequences. Yeah, launch with webinars, his podcast. So it's very interesting, and it's also another perspective, given in under 20 minutes, a brief presentation and
Okay.
taking the people in.
So does that still sort of run off the like an intro, 3 beliefs, and then the stack? Is it still sort of based off that?
Yeah, but everything is quite
Condensed, yeah.
condensed, very condensed. Yes.
Very condensed, yeah. Yeah, true. Because most people, I guess it depends on the niche, but most people don't want to really sit through a 90-minute webinar. They'd rather just get the information in 30 minutes. So
Yeah, exactly. I think what Russell Brunson did was with the perfect webinar is amazing, but it's true. Now time is precious, and in order to have someone sitting 1.5 or 2 hours is quite a long commitment.
yeah, I guess unless it's like a celebrity like Russell himself, I mean,
Exactly.
that's maybe a different story, but yeah, it makes sense. All right, so is it just yourself, or do you have like team members, or do you outsource stuff, or what's the situation at the moment with the team?
Yeah, well, this year, the 2020 last year was a little bit challenging because I started myself. So one of the main challenges I went through was to turn from a solopreneur to have a team. So now we had 4 people with me. So yeah, it's been great. Although these 4 people are not the only, well, these 3 people that I have now are not the only 3 I've had. I went over 6 or 7 other people that didn't work. And yeah, this is one of the main challenges I found when I was setting up my business as an agency.
So what, do you have like a funnel builder, a copywriter, and maybe an assistant or something, or is that how it works?
I am mainly the funnel builder, but I am training another person in order to be the funnel builder and for me to step out of the operations.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the copy and creative are made by the team.
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
All right, so we've already sort of discussed that it's course creators mainly that you're sort of working with. So is that sort of mainly in the Spanish market, or is that worldwide, or and is there any specific type of course creator?
To be honest, mainly is the Spanish market, based in Spain and in Latin America. But one of the projects I did was with a Dutch group of people that at the end they reached the 2 Comma Club.
Oh, cool.
Is the one I have here. And so yeah, I'm quite happy to share that they were some of the inspiration for me to keep developing the agency, and this year is the year that I want to be on my way to have my own award.
Yeah, I guess there wouldn't be that many people that are like specifically targeting the Spanish market with funnels, are there? I mean, I'm not sure, but I mean, most people would be sort of doing English-speaking market. Is that right, or?
Yeah, it's true. But here in Spain, I know at least 4 people that have reached the 2 Comma Club, and they are. This is a trend that is rising since last year. I think ClickFunnels is doing a big and a very good business of what's the name? Preaching about funnels and showing everyone how easy they can be, and yeah, they are making it easy for the people.
Okay, and what about with that GDPR? Is that something that, you know, like takes up a bit of your time where you've got to be careful with that, or is that pretty quick and straightforward to make sure that you're setting all the privacy settings correct and then you're managing the data without breaking the rules? Is that a challenge, or?
Yeah, no, at the moment for us it's not a challenge. We work with a company that are used to do this. I mean, to do that, this is
Yeah.
something that they do. So we rely on professionals in order to set up this properly.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So what about as far as client acquisition? So sort of how are you getting customers, and what are your most successful customer acquisition techniques to bring in business for your agency?
Mm-hmm. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit of the story on how we get customers. I started very motivated with the Facebook ad and lead generation technique
Yes.
and lead ad, and I started getting leads, but these leads didn't have enough quality because they were not maybe too much educated, so it was very difficult to convert
Right.
to convert them. So at the end, they were not the dream client that I was looking for. But then later on, I discovered this problem-solving marketing, which is through Google Ads, and creating this vertical funnel that is going to solve one specific problem. It's bringing me leads. It's bringing me more quality leads that they are willing to pay for a problem to be solved. And then at the end, you solve the problem, you have the trust, and you can sell them you can sell them a higher
Yeah.
product,
So
which is a
Google
full
Ads.
funnel build. So, yes, Google Ads.
Interesting. Okay, I wouldn't have guessed that. I guess the advantage with Google Ads is people are actually searching for what you're offering, whereas on Facebook it's just sort of random. I know you can target it to specific people, but at least with Google, people are actually searching for these specific keywords, and you can target those keywords. So
Yeah,
buyer
exactly.
intent, or yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, this is true that I had to change my mindset because I thought, okay, Facebook is the way, it's the channel I have to use. But at the end, I realized, okay, what is Facebook? Facebook is marketing by interruption. You are doing something and then you see the ad. But what is Google? When you have a problem, okay, how to fix this, or how to do this, how to analyze this. So this is something that I decided to start doing, and the leads started to be of a higher quality.
Okay, very interesting.
Yeah,
Because
there are another ways that I reach with clients, which is doing conferences online or physical, or for example being part of the Chamber of Commerce, so via referrals.
Okay, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So tell us about one of your most successful marketing campaigns and why you believe it actually performed so well.
Okay. Specifically, when talking about Google Ads, what I did was to position myself as one of the expert in analytics in Spanish. So some people, not many people, but maybe from 30 to 50 searches a month, I had that people was looking for analytics in Spanish. Analytics is one of the tools I use, and I think they did a partnership with ClickFunnels, and then at the end, many people was knowing about them. So some people was purchasing the upsell, which is to use the tool, but they didn't know how to. So being certified made me give solutions to these kind of people.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. I mean, taking advantage of sort of a problem in the marketplace. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly that.
Yeah. Nice. All right. So what are your favorite online tools and platforms that you use to run your business?
Yeah, some of the tools I use, for example, this is the one that I use mainly, Funnelytics, because you can plan and you can analyze the funnel. Plus, I know this tool has been improving a lot or making a lot of improvements, and they've raised, I think, some money, and I think it's very, very useful. And also ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels, I think it's easy, and some people could say, okay, but ClickFunnels is expensive, or there are some other tools, some like, Kartra and GroupFunnels. But then at the end, what I think, okay, sometimes we don't have to look for what is the tool that has the most features. Sometimes, you know, thinking who is the person behind the tool, it's probably one of the top people and one of the person, I mean, Russell Branson, that has spent the most with marketing and more obsessed with that. So if he thinks this is okay, this should be okay. So
Makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah.
And then other tools that I use is ActiveCampaign for email marketing. I think it's quite handy and easy to use for me and my team.
Yep.
And also to get organized, we use Asana.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
Asana and Slack
Okay.
for the communications.
Yeah, I guess you
Yeah.
can set up Zapier as well to automate between Asana and Slack as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and ClickFunnels with us with Slack. I think it gives the rest of the team access to, for example, uh, real-time sales and a lot of information that I think is really useful. What about you, Scott? What are the tools that you mainly use?
Well, for me, it's pretty much the same as you actually. ClickFunnels and Funnelytics are by far the two that I use the most.
Mhm.
Slack to keep in contact with my assistant. There's a new tool that's come out called Infinity, which is a little bit like Airtable.
I've used it. Yes.
It's a project
Yes.
management tool. So I haven't really had time to dig deep into it, but I got a free lifetime membership and it looks really good. So I'm excited to use that.
Wow. Nice. Nice.
I don't know. There's
Brilliant.
lots of other tools I use, but they're the main ones. I mean, Google Tag Manager is another one. I guess you could call that a tool as well. So yeah, they're my favorites. But yeah, I'm pretty much the same as you.
Mhm.
I don't really use Active Campaign, but I've heard that is a pretty good tool.
Mhm.
Yeah. So okay, all right. So what are some of the biggest and most common mistakes that you see your clients making?
Okay, most of the clients, some of the mistakes they do is that they want to sell more with the actual website. So they have a website with all the home buttons and a lot of exit points. So at the end, they have to learn how to put a client into a funnel in order to make the most of their investment in publicity and ads and everything, every marketing experience they do. So they have to improve the funnel, and most of them are using a lot of useless information in the website. Some
Yeah.
websites,
Yeah.
when you land in a website, hasn't it happened to you that there is so much information that I can spend 2 or 3 days reading through, and I just need to one thing. So yeah, this lack of strategy and lack of automation, I think, is the common mistake that they normally do.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the advantage of a funnel over a website, isn't it? I mean, a website could easily have 100 links on the home page, whereas if you send them to a funnel and it's all about one particular thing and it's got a structure to it. So I mean, I'm not saying websites don't have their place, they do, but as far as conversions go, if you send them to a page that's designed to convert without links all over it, then and take them through a proper sequence, then that's sort of a lot better as far as converting people into leads and sales rather than just sending them to a website. So
yeah, exactly. It's true. I am with you. It's not that websites don't work. It's just that they work for something different, and
yeah,
under
different
our point of
purpose.
view,
Yeah.
exactly, it's a different purpose. If we receive clients that want to sell more or want to convert more their visits, obviously their go-to solution is the funnel.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's
Mhm.
why Russell recommends too that, I mean, you can still have a website, and then on the homepage of the website, you have like all different sections, and they click on a particular section they're interested in, and then that takes them to the funnel. So it's like a storefront almost.
Yeah, exactly. This is, I think they call this the funnel hub.
Yeah, funnel
So
hub, something like that. Yeah. So I like that idea as well. You sort of still got a website, but it ends up leading into funnels. So yeah.
yeah, it's true. I think at the end, this is like a process. No, you can start having a website with 3 different funnels, because you have to test what it works first. But once you have two or three products, I think this is probably the go-to solution. So yeah, having like a menu bar with 3 or 4 buttons, and a couple of them can be a funnel, and then the other couple can be like a mini webinar to convert. So yeah, this is probably how I would do it.
The other thing you can do too is have like a mini survey as an opt-in, and they choose. You ask them the question, and then they choose their answer, and then depending on what answer they choose, it then redirects them to a different page with a different sort of funnel. So that's
Yeah, it's
another
true.
thing that you can do as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's smart.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. So what's the biggest challenge you have to consistently face while running your agency?
Well, as I told you before, this year has been the one that I've turned from freelancing to agency. So being a solopreneur, doing everything, and suddenly, wanting to grow, to get more clients, I needed to set up a team. So one of my biggest challenges has been to hire the right ones,
Yeah. Yeah.
and to retain them, because you have to give a lot, but then you have to receive. So in order to find the quality people with the right skills and attitudes, of course, and then having them to stay in the project. So I think this is probably one of my main challenges.
Yeah, that's quite common. I mean, if you want to scale, there's no choice. You have to start hiring people. Otherwise, you're limited in the amount of clients that you can work with, because obviously there's only so many hours in a week. And if you're doing all the work, then there's no way you can just keep fulfilling clients, because it gets to a point where you just can't do it all. So if you can start to build a team around you and just focus on bringing in clients, then obviously you can scale that up, and the possibilities are endless. So.
Yeah.
But of course, like you're saying, it's easier said than done.
It's true.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds great, but I guess with experience too. I mean, you know, you'd expect in the beginning that you're not going to get it 100% right, but you have to make that plunge and take that step and just learn from your mistakes and continually grow.
Yes.
So I'm sure that's what you found as well.
Yeah. Something else that I think it was my challenge. It's when I started, I came from starting other kind of businesses. So I thought, and also from hospitality, you have to design processes for restaurants and for events to work like a clockwork, And
Yeah.
so
Systems.
yeah, that's systems exactly. I was focused and obsessed on creating systems and spending too much time on what's going to be the system. And then at the end, I realized that after, every time I was working with a client, I had to change the system. So I thought, okay, so I was spending too much time beforehand, and then in the workplace, in the real life, I had to make some tweaks. So then I had to change how the things were doing. So this is also something that has become a challenge.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. All right. So with an eye to the future, what are you curious about right now, or researching regarding digital marketing or funnels?
Well, something that really gets me excited, it's the artificial intelligence.
Oh, yeah.
So, I think lately there are some tools that are giving these artificial intelligence functions or features that help you maybe auto respond some emails, or understand what's the optimal funnel that the customers go through. And I don't know, I think the future is going to be a lot about these artificial intelligence functions, and I'm really looking forward to it, and see how it can help us marketers to make a better job.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just in its infancy at the moment, but yeah, it's something that will, at least I reckon by the end of this decade, it will be well and truly with us. And, you know, like pretty much every market will be starting to use it and take advantage of it. And that will also,
yeah,
I guess that will cut off some jobs as well. Like a lot of the jobs that we're paying freelancers for at the moment, it'll probably make some of them obsolete as well. I'm not exactly sure what for, but yeah.
Yeah, this is true. And then us that we have to focus on more on strategies and how to ensemble everything together. I think we will be seen as more an authority because of the experience that we have been gathering. What about you, Scott? This is a very good question. What are you curious about or researching?
Probably marketing automation at the moment. That's one thing that I'm really looking into, like Zapier and you know, how to connect one system to another system to stop repetition, and also a little bit like you, project management as well, and systems, so that you know, able to scale a business rather than doing all the work yourself. Because I'm a bit like you. I've sort of been doing, you know, a lot of freelancing, and you know, I want to step out of that and start focusing more on actually building a proper business rather than, you know, just building funnels and being a freelancer. Because yeah, you know, I'm not young anymore, so yeah, I've got to be looking to the future and starting to build a proper business. So yeah, that's what I'm researching, and also sales as well. That's another thing I'm interested in: persuasion, sales, negotiation. So
yeah,
that's a valuable skill. Yeah,
I love it. You know, lately I just purchased a couple of books that are based that are using NLP.
Ah, yes.
This is something that, you know, Tony Robbins is using a lot, and plus there are some techniques that we are not using. We know they are there, so I think this is a thing that motivates me a lot into doing research. But then, as you said, in terms of automation and creating systems, because we reach an age that we need to be more company builders instead of entrepreneurs or freelancers. I think to know what's the key to buy other people's time, not to sell our time for money.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the whole key to it, isn't it? Really, and doing it, but making a profit at the same time. So that's
exactly.
That's the challenge. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, who are your marketing idols or the biggest influences on your career?
Yeah, well, one of the main ones, of course, is Russell Brunson. But I think Russell Brunson is quite an introduction to marketing. But my favorite is Steve Larsen. Steve Larsen was the right hand of Russell Brunson for a couple of years at ClickFunnels, you know well.
Yes.
And the way he has created, the way he teaches, at the end he was helping create the 2 Club and the Funnel Hackathon trainings. So I like how he teaches. And I like to see his, I have all his products. I purchased all his coaching products, and the way he teaches, it's very inspiring to me, because I am also a teacher in a couple of master degrees here in Spain.
Yep.
And I use a lot of his concepts to my teaching.
And you've also got the Capitalist Pig T-shirt too. I saw that last time.
Yeah, I have the capitalists, everything, the T-shirt, the bottle.
Oh, even the bottle. Okay.
Everything, the bottle, the hat. Plus, the first time I've been in the US was last year. No, last year, 2019, November.
Oh, yeah.
To his event.
Oh, okay. Was that Offermind?
Yeah, in Offermind. Yeah,
okay.
Offermind. I have the.
Yeah, I've heard that's really, really good. So that would have been fantastic experience.
Yeah, it's an amazing experience. Plus, in Offermind, we were, I think, 3 or 4 Spanish speakers. I think there were about, out of 650 people, 3 or 4 only Spanish speakers. And one of them I met. He's one of my partners, and he made over $400,000 in selling courses for doctors
Oh,
and
nice.
health professionals in Mexico.
Okay, excellent.
So yeah, it was great because, a part of the event experience that was amazing, a part of the context, the relationships that you can make in one of these events is amazing.
Well, interestingly enough, Steve Larson was one of the reasons why I first got into podcasting at the very beginning. And I actually started like right at the start of last year, and I had a goal of getting 100 episodes, and I just got to 100 episodes on the 31st of December. So, and he was like the main inspiration behind, starting up a podcast, because I'd never actually sort of started something and kept going with it as far as being a publisher. So he was a huge inspiration for me as well. So I can see why you're into him. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this is something that it resonates with me. I am a very good starter, but in order to finish, this consistency that is the key for the success is also something that I have been lacking a lot. So tell me a little bit about you, Scott. How have you gone through this journey of making 100 episodes in your podcast?
Well, I'll be honest with you. There have been a few times where I've considered throwing it in, but I mean, it would just be such a waste because there's a lot of effort that goes into running a podcast between, getting people on the show, getting the questions together, and then getting it produced and all of that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of work that goes into it. So I don't know. I just sort of had the motivation and the will to stick to the goal, because I knew that eventually, I'd be able to build up an audience and it would be worthwhile, and that you can't expect to like become a millionaire or become a podcasting superstar overnight. You just got to go through the process and stick at it and keep going. And that's basically what I've done. So, so I'm still going. So, it's just a matter of just having that willpower and or I guess the passion and the mission and the purpose. That's more than the willpower, but really the passion, the mission and the purpose. So,
yeah, that's very interesting. And how has your life changed? Because something that Russell and Steve say in every course, if you publish consistently for a year, 1 year from now, your life is gonna change completely.
Yeah,
How has your life changed?
I remember hearing that as well, and well, I am getting people at least contacting me now to be on the show, which is a start. But I wouldn't say that I'm like killing it yet, but I have built up an audience. There are people downloading the show. I have got some pretty positive feedback, and I'm always looking to improve things and create better content, and like do the best that I can possibly do. But
okay.
I wouldn't quite say that it's changed my life yet, but that said, I'm not just going to throw in the towel. So stick with it. Yeah.
That's very good. And what kind of info do you do in the shows? Do you do interviews, or tell me a little bit about Funnel Fellow Radio?
Yeah. Okay. Well, the first 20 or so episodes, I knew that nobody would want to be on the show, so I just basically did some talking, which I'm sure were pretty bad, and I knew they were going to be bad, but unless you actually get started and start doing it, then nothing's ever going to happen. So I did my best to get through about 20-25 episodes, and then I actually interviewed Mikel Dia. He was the first one that was an interview.
Wow.
So the interviews started going pretty well. I actually enjoyed the interviews, found them quite interesting, and it also saved me from having to create all of this content where I could just create the questions and then we just have a conversation. So from about episode 45 or so onwards, they're all interviews. I made the decision that I'm not going to, they're all going to be interviews now. I've just been able to get people onto the show and people contacting me. So, I found that it's just a better show for me if I'm interviewing someone rather than just trying to talk about a topic myself. And, particularly if I'm not extremely knowledgeable about that topic. So.
Okay. And is this? Do you think this is going to bring you more business or more clients or more
Oh, absolutely.
authority?
Yeah. I'll be adding, a little bit of advertising on here as well. So, pushing people towards my products and services. So, and they'll sort of be, well targeted to funnels and so forth. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it all
Great.
ties in nicely together.
Great. Perfect, Scott.
Awesome. All right, then just to wrap up, where can people go to find out more about your services and or your products?
Well, mainly my main website is danitomas.com, and of course I have a couple more landing pages where I'm gathering leads, and also we are starting a new course that is going to be marketing online specifically for delivery restaurants that do food delivery. So yeah, but the place to go where you can find me is danitomas.com.
Cool. I might just quickly spell it out too. So it's D for David, A for Apple, N for November, I for Italy, T for Thomas, O for Orange, M for Mary, A for Apple, and S for Sam.com.
Exactly.
So
DANITOMAS.
DaniTomas.com. Perfect. All right. I better let you go, Danny. Thanks very much for being on the show. I appreciate your time. Take care.
Thank you, Scott. Take care, fella.